Thank you so much for Justin Evison for subscribing to the channel. Really appreciate it. You are giving a chance to me. Sorry, language barrier. I can see our little profile picture. I know it's it used to be an OP trap card on Yu-Gi-Oh. I remember I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh. I remember using that not on my real life deck, but I remember using it on the tag games. Tag Force games. Do you remember that? I used to use that trap. I think it's the same trap card. Wasn't that the OP trap card? I don't know, man. Hello, my name is Dr. Shambles, and today we'll be doing some more theory crafting on the OP11 purple Katakuri that will be coming up in OP11. Obviously, they're on the east region. I will be playing this deck, and so I'm gonna do some videos before it is actually out, and then obviously we'll do a video of gameplay on it. I'm super excited for this deck, and we just got the announcement of the 2 SRs. We already had the Pudding Searcher, which is 1 SR. I don't really like the idea of putting a Searcher as an SR. And we got the Katakuri SR, which was the thing that I really wanted to see. Everybody wanted to see if the deck was at least viable. And now that we got the 2 announcements, I'm gonna do a video about the 2 cards and what I think the strategy could potentially be on Katakuri. Especially like early game if you want to go first or second, and the reasons why. Sorry if you hear the train on the background. So let's first read the Searcher Pudding. She's a purple character, 1 cost 0 power, Big Mom Pirates. On play, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 cost 2 or greater Big Mom Pirates type card and put it into your hand. Then bottom deck the rest in any order. So a pretty standard Searcher, but then she also has an activate main, which is Donna's -1. Press this character, look at the top card of your opponent's deck. I believe she has this effect, so she's a viable Searcher for purple KATA, and so that you can somewhat mimic the purple KATA strategy with his leader effect into the purple yellow Pudding. I believe that's the only reason why she has the activate main, and the only reason they decided to do this an SR. I think they're going that route, but obviously she's a standard Searcher and there's not much I can talk about it, so let's just go right into the new purple Katakuri announcement, which is the other purple SR. So Charlotte Katakuri, purple character, 8 cost, 8k power, Big Mom Pirate. He is a blocker, and at the end of your turn set up to 2 of your Big Mom Pirates type characters with a cost of 3 or more as active, then add up to 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck and rest it. So he makes it the deck so much more viable, and also lets us pinpoint a little bit better what the strategy will be. He is obviously also viable again in the yellow-purple Pudding, and pretty much this just kind of confirms that our purple KATA leader ability will not be so much of a cost, like the -1 cost whenever you attack, because for now we're already seeing that every single character that gets leaked or announced for purple KATA as an effect where when you pass turn or when you activate main, for example with Charlotte's Oven, you pretty much do an effect and then you get 1 Rested Dawn out of it. So that means our lead effect when we are attacking is pretty much free, and the only time we actually go -1 Dawn is whenever it's on your opponent's turn. That's pretty much it. That's the first thing I want to get out, is because with these announcements we can somewhat get into that conclusion, and so that makes the deck already much more viable. Now let's go into the sim, and let's see what I have already added up. So these are the cards I believe could have a possibility to go into the purple deck. Now, most of these will probably not be into the deck. Some I'm actually gonna remove, and that's what I want to talk about here. Because we still don't have all of the support, but we're surely gonna have better support than this that we have here. But there are some cards that we can finally finally, again, come to the conclusion that they will be in the deck. First, I want to talk about again the Bon Clay. We can still play him, and he obviously still is good to just ramp 1 Dawn, but I don't think this deck will need 4 of him. I think he'll be somewhat like Purple Luffy. By the way, Purple Luffy is gonna be a huge part here on this video, because I'm gonna compare the Purple Katakuri strategy into the Purple Luffy strategy. I think it will be very interesting to hear what I have to say about these two. So yeah, I think you can still play like 2 Bon Clays, but I don't think you need 4, just like Purple Luffy. I'm using 2 on my deck list as well, and I think if you play Bon Clay, it will be 2 of. Next, I believe you'll be playing 4 of these blocker kit. You cannot play the new Sanji and Pudding, which is this one, because it requires you to go -2 or more Dawn. So this is better for the AB02 Luffy or the Gear 5 Purple Black Luffy. So I don't think that card will be in the deck. So we have this as a 5 cost curve. I'll get more into it once I talk about all the cards. Kamazo still good because of your leader ability, and then let's just get into the Charlotte Katakuri. Obviously, with the new announcement of the SR category, we can deduct that this card can be tagged into your deck. Now, are we going to be playing 4? Absolutely not. I don't think we will be having the space for it, but I think tagging 2 copies max could be good. Kind of get your opponent off guard on late game by playing this card, go into the KATA, and then you still have like 8 Dawn, or like if you're on the 8 yeah, like pretty much I only see this being played when you have 10 Dawn and your opponent has 10 Dawn. So like you just play this for 2, play a category, and then you can build more board with the rest of the 8 Dawn. I can see this helping you go a bit more like Purple Luffy, like mid-range, but not really mid-range. Sometimes you have cards in your when the play calls for it, you, instead of playing like a big body, like for example the 9 cost Linling, which is currently being played in Purple Luffy, you play like 2 Zorojuros, 4 cost, you know, get a search, and you play for mid-range. You kind of swarm the board instead of playing a big body. This can help you do that, but with bigger bodies, which is why I think it has a great potential to be played as 2 of. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, because it's a 2 cost, and again, I'll be talking about this because I think this deck will be going second most of the time. If you don't have anything else and you have this on your hand, you can just set it up on your very first turn and just wait it out till you need it, or bait out removal. If you bait out removal, I still think this card got somewhat of its value. You know, your opponent is somewhat spending resources just to get rid of this. But I don't think that will be the case. I think you'll only be playing this if you have both this card and the 8 cost category on late game. These 2 cards, the Brule and the Sparrow, I think we're gonna get better announcements. So I don't think there will be space for this. 2, I just put it here just in case, you know, it could be good tech at the time. I think Sparrow will not be played in any way, shape or form, but I think Brule could potentially be a card that you can play. Since I believe this deck will be going second, she could be a 4 cost curve play, just to set up a blocker if you don't have anything else. So if she is eventually played, which again, I don't think she will be, she can be like a 1 copy of or 2 copy of, just to make sure that once you reach the 4 Dawn curve play, you have something to play. Kind of like you want to have the same curve of 4 costs on Purple Luffy, to make sure that you when you ramp up, you can build board. That's pretty much just it, and that's why I'm gonna go into comparison of the both strategies. Linling, the 9 cost we already know. Black Maria, don't think this will be needed actually, since we are not going to... we're not going down too much on Dawn, except with the 10 cost Linling that got announced, a rare one, which I don't think we'll be playing more than 2 copies of, to be honest. I don't think this will be needed, but obviously if there's space for it, we always like to play like 2 or 3 Marias, you know, just to make sure you have the ramp. So yeah, not only that, she could be somewhat good tech, kind of mid game, like you set up on early, and mid game you go up on on Dawn just to use your leader ability and maybe some other abilities that cost Dawn. But I don't really think you'll be doing that. I don't think there's that much of a need. But yeah, she could see play. Obviously, she has the potential for. Next is Wire. Just like Brule, if you're going to be playing this guy, it's just attack. But instead of making sure that you have curve on going second, I think this guy is to make sure you have curve in case you need to go first. So you set up a blocker. He has good value because once per turn, if a Dawn is returned to the Dawn deck, draw one and discard one card from your hand. This is the only effect that you can use during your opponent's turn as well, because you go down on -1 Dawn with your leader ability, and that lets you cycle the hand to see what you need to see. You don't get extra value to hand, but the cycle might be good. Next is the event. I think you'll be playing like 2 or 3 of these events just to keep the consistency with the Searcher Pudding. This, it's to die for. I don't think it will be needed. Since now with the SR category announcement, we know that most of your support for the purple kata will have ramp in itself. So I don't think you'll be needing more ramp as such as this event. This was a somewhat good tech art because it could be searched, but now I don't think you'll be needed. Same here with this event, which the name is incorrect on the sim, but this is searchable. You could eventually play it, but I think, in my opinion, you know, minusing 2 Dawn to K up 2 6 cost or lower characters, and it being a 6 cost itself, I think it's too much, and I rather hope that we play like purple Luffy, where we build a bit more board and use the swings of that board to take away the enemy's board instead of relying on this event. Not only that, for example, if we're going against the black blocker Sabo, which stops the KO effects, this just becomes somewhat useless. So yeah, I don't know if there will be space, but obviously it's always a good event to consider, especially because it's searchable. Now, I just went up again with the whole cards. Only Pudding is pretty much all, again, I didn't speak about her because she's guaranteed to be in your deck. And now let's talk about what I think of the strategy. I think, and this is why I'm gonna go compare it to the purple Luffy, which is when you're going, purple Luffy relies on going first, so then you can use your leader ability to ramp up and then play on better curve, so on and so forth. But what I want to talk about more is the deck list that currently goes into purple Luffy. I'm gonna show you mine over here. So pretty much what you like to do with purple Luffy is you make sure you go first, and then your deck list is built so that when you ramp up, you have a 4 cost to play. In this case, Bonkure, I'm playing this blocker Law, you play the Kamaso, also helps, and obviously your main target, Zorojuro. This is pretty much what you want to do, and then on your third turn, you ramp up again to play your Luffy Taro, or if you don't have it, the Sanji. I think this will be the same in your purple Kata. You will mostly have 4 costs because you want to go second, but then you'll be playing some 5 costs in case you need to go first. This is the same for purple Luffy. Once again, I'm gonna go here. Sorry, I keep changing. If you go first, you can ramp up to 4, so you have this curve play, which is the most optimal. But if you're going second, if you lose your dice roll, what you like to do is still have some 5 costs, so you can ramp up to 5. So on your second turn, you still ramp to 5 and you play a better character on curve if you really want to. Obviously, it always depends on the situation. This, I think, it will be the same with purple Kata. You mostly want to go second, and most of your effects is better going second. For example, just take Oven. It's a 4 cost, 5k power, and when you activate its effect, it KOs a 3 cost or less. This is only good on early game, on your curve play, because your opponent's second turn was 3 Dawn, he just played a 3 Dawn character, he does whatever he needs to, passes turn, and goes to you. You have Oven, you can play Oven, use the leader effect to obviously make sure that Oven doesn't whiff, you declare the power, KO someone, and get the Dawn back. The KO something will always be that 3 cost that your opponent just set up, so it's always good to have him on curve play. but if you don't have him on curve play, he becomes much more useless than, for example, a Gadatsu, that its KO is basically managed by your opponent's life, which is much better than a fixed cost like 3. So that's my idea. Not only that, the SR purple Kata is also an 8 cost, which makes your curve play better on 8. Or on this case on even numbers. Charlotte Oven is a 4 cost, and then you have the SR Katakuri, which is an 8 cost. But if you need to take away somebody's aggression, let's imagine you're going against purple Luffy. Obviously this is not taken for granted, but if you want to take away the purple Luffy's main curve, you kind of go first, and then you have cards like Kid to play on your 3rd turn. You have the Pudding that helps you play on your 2nd turn to at least make sure that you have good place to do whatever the curve is. You just obviously want to play for your strongest, which I believe will be going 2nd. That's pretty much it. That's all I want to talk about. I think purple Luffy and purple Kata will be somewhat mirror opposites. While purple Luffy does like to go first, I believe Kata will like to go 2nd. But I believe that when it comes to the deck building of those decks, we could potentially see, again, the mirror. You play for going first, so... and then mathematically you want to make sure that you don't whiff when you ramp up. And with Kata, you make the same, but you want to go 2nd, making sure that you have the best curve, whilst making some space to play cards that will help you going first. I believe that's pretty much it, and that's all I wanted to talk about. I think people that play purple Luffy like me will have an easier time to go into the purple Kata, because again, I just think the deck building in the strategy is just a bit mirrored, so it's easier to adapt. Not that I don't believe playing purple Kata or playing purple Luffy, to be honest, is hard. Like, purple Luffy is doing so well because it's one of the simpler decks with the simplest strategy, you know, it's pretty linear, and I think Kata would be like that. But for now, purple Luffy, in comparison, purple Luffy obviously has gotten more time to get more support, so I believe his strategy is just more consistent, and we already know that the strategy is viable because with Luffy Tar you swarm the board really easily, and you use your swings to take away the enemy's board if you need to. Kata is not looking like that. His effects are looking like you play and you activate main, you look at the top of your opponent, and then you rely on your effects, not your swings, to take away opponent's board, which I don't think is as consistent as the purple Luffy, but only more support will tell. And obviously, again, since purple Luffy got more time to get more support, I believe purple Kata will definitely get more support on future sets. He's a fan favorite and I'm super excited for him, but I think for now the deck, I think you will like to go 2nd. That's why I think Bonkure is very good and Kamazu can be also very good in case, assuming that we'll be playing Oven. I don't think the effect of Oven is that reliable, but if Oven is the best we have and we do need to play for him, going 2nd will probably be your best curve. And so I think having these cards to make sure that you never whiff on your curve plays is the best way to go. Also, I'm speaking with the purple Luffy player mindset, so that's my thought process. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I think the deck will be going 2nd. I think we'll just tech some cards to help you go first. If this is proven wrong and you actually want to go first, which to be honest I do prefer, again, it's just easier because you'll pretty much, again, it's very similar to, would be much more similar to purple Luffy, and I also prefer to play more aggressive, so getting that first swing would help me a lot. But I think that deck will be going 2nd, and the curve plays will be going 2nd, and I think unlike purple Luffy where you swarm the board, purple Kata will be dependent on the effects of the cards that you play, which is, I don't think, again, it's not consistent. And what I mean is not consistent, I mean in terms of matchups. There will be matchups that will stop you from getting that effects pretty easily, or if you get it one time, they'll just, like Purple Luffy, maybe swarm the board even more, and for now you're just taking away one character while they build two. So against Blue Doffy you might have very bad matchup. Only time will tell. But I think for now this will not be meta. It'll just be rogue, because again, if Blue Doffy swarms the board and you cannot deal with it, like Purple Luffy with swings or with effects, easy effects to use, that might be a problem. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe. Comment your ideas, what you think of what I just said. I know it's a long video, but I just want to get everything out. Hopefully I made myself clear, because I was speaking without a script. So hopefully you guys understood everything that I wanted to say and kind of understood my idea and thought process. If not, you can always ask, but I will also love to see other people's opinions. I've been looking at them on the Discord server, obviously, but I'll be playing this deck 100%. I don't care if it's meta or not. I love purple color, I love Katakuri, I'll be playing the deck for sure. The only thing that will make this better is, instead of being a pure purple color KATA, would be a pure purple color Law. That's the only thing would make this better. So yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.